Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bugatti Circuit. We have another Ultimate League race for you guys, and we're gonna hop into qualifying here in France. I have here with me today Skip. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Yeah, this should be a banging race. We've raced at Bugatti a few times in the past in Ultimate League. We did it in Season 5, we did it in Season 8. Um, we had Nomscar and Nuno win those races. Neither of them here today, so we're going to get a new Bugatti winner.
Yes, and it's a lovely day for racing. There are no clouds inside whatsoever, so probably a dry race, and it's gonna be lovely for these drivers. 11 turns here in Bugatti Circuit, as we see Rosem here on my screen going onto the Le Mans track, pulling off for where Le Mans goes straight. We go right, we go to a tight turn here, and then towards the square pin, as it has been aptly named by Mr. Crunk. They go to these nets, flat out corners, then brake early so you can open up the next turn, and then back on the Le Mans track for a time. Let's see what he has here. He does not improve. Charged right now is the quickest guy with a 30.13. Yes, let's see if there are some improvements being made. There are. Hernandi goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 30.03, and he will claim pole position for Levioso Sports Art that can win the Constructors Championship tonight. With only a few points, a top 8 for one of their drivers will be enough, and Hernandi will take pole. Alongside him will be Charged, then the RMC boys Buddha and Jeru with a very good qualifying of 4th. Keter will be 5th, Anti 6th, Kref alongside Kubo, who will be a main driver for the remainder of the season for FLF. Flix in the top 10 with a 9th, Corvid next to him. Last week's winner Figo will start 11th next to X6 racing for Mayhem today. Grandy will be 13th. Challenger League winner earlier in this evening, Matimar starts 14th, Rosem 15th, Uran 16th, Sobel will start 17th, he's replacing Nuno, and rounding out the field will be Rams for FGR.
Very interesting qualifying session. RMC's Lockout Row 2, that is probably their best qualifying performance ever, or certainly at least since sort of season 11, maybe season 8, going that far back. Great qualifying from Kada, as per normal, sort of finding himself in that top 5 position. And yeah, Kubo back in the flow force, even if only for a couple races. Outqualifies teammate Corvid at the first time of asking. Look how close that top half of the grid, though, is 2/10 separating the top 9, so you can't take each individual position for granted. We have a little bit more range as we go further down. X6, 12th place, racing for Mayhem today. Sobel, a little bit rusty, stepping back into the LSA car the first time. They're racing under the new ownership of Vlado204, only 17th starting for him, but I'm sure he'll be on a charge back through the field.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting race. The skill gap is rather low at this track, only 11 turns as well. I think that's the lowest of the season. A lot of straight lines, a lot of strip slim gonna be in effect, and getting through the start cleanly is gonna be a main priority for all of these drivers. And that means you have to choose. Are you gonna take a risk and try and gain a lot of positions, or do you try and play it safe but risk others profiting of it? You know, a crash in the first few laps could be detrimental to your race.
Certainly could. Prediction for the winner?
Of course.
Ooh, I think we might see a surprise winner here. I've seen Hernandi race very well, so my brain is telling Hernandi, but my gut is saying, let's go with Kraft.
Interesting.
As we go to the starts,
You
a
want
few
to
on the
turn
softs, but
commentator?
most on the hards. Charge wants to take the lead with those softs and fly away from all the danger. And he does for now. Hernandez settles in 2 seconds. Probably try and slipstream here. Jeru goes to the inside of him. They're side by side. As Kubo wants to have a look at Jeru as well, coming into the square pin. Buddha takes back fourth for now. They're side by side. Buddha takes it. Kubo thinks better of it, and a lot of cars following Charged right here. Getting a bit chaotic. Flix is muscling his way through and up to 5th for now. That's a good start by Flix. And Charged is in the lead with those softs. A lot of other people profiting from his softs maybe. As Charged, Kraft, Corvid and Sobel are the only ones not on hards right now.
Yeah, really interesting to see. The RMC's still running well here as well. We've only got 4 drivers on that soft. Charge out in the lead. Kraft, Corvid and Sobel. Like we've said, Flick's really looking racy off the start here. He was up from 9th to 5th on that first lap, since has fallen down the order. Gave Buda a little bit of trouble there, and Kraft has now gotten through on the Estonian, who we didn't even think would be here tonight coming into the race.
Yeah, and it's a surprisingly clean start of the race. We expected a little bit of chaos maybe, as we see the teammates Kubo and Corvid fighting side by side here as well, which is starting to become like a second, maybe third pack with Anti and the Mayhem drivers as well. A rather clean start compared to the other races we've had tonight. As Corvid is looking a little bit twitchy here, as in this pack led by Kraft on the softs here as well. So we have a group of 3 as they go off. Flick, Scatter and Corvid go off big time, lose a lot of time and positions, all of them. Flick's down to 13th now after that good start, saw him in the top 5 for a short while.
Let's talk about Mattimar. He's in 5th place, started 14th on the grid. Amazing start for the man in purple.
Yeah, very well done. He's been very calm and collected, just picking off everybody one by one. Now trying to go for Kraft as his hard tires might start to kicking a little bit and the softs might start to wear down. It's going to be interesting to see when these hard tire runners want to get rid of the softs, as the softs slowly start to degrade.
Absolutely. Chiruni still sticking close with very much the firmly established pack of 3 at the front. Of course, strategy, crashes, and all of that will shake that up tonight, but no rain, the first dry race since Belgium back in Season 4.
And
Yeah.
one person who's not going to be happy about that is Kubo, who dropped all the way back to P17, which something has to have happened there, because that's not where you would expect to see him. And that sadly means there's no real opportunity for him to just luck into getting back up, so he's got a lot of work to do.
Begs the question, is he really LSA material?
One way to find out, I guess.
Suppose so.
As Charge switches positions with Jeru and Hanandi, Charge now on the soft tire starting to struggle as Buddha tries to catch up, and during that switch of positions, Jeru has lost pace of Hanandi. Hanandi now wants to escape, keep Jeru out of that slipstream and escape into the distance, and maybe make a solid bid for that championship lead. As Nuno isn't here, he can profit and maybe win a championship this year, as his main competitor will not score any points. Charge goes into the pit, so does Corvid, and probably all the other hards as softs runners. 4 hard tires for Charged, more softs for Corvid, and also hard tires for Kraft, which seem to be the preferred tire this evening.
Really interesting to see for Hanandi. Very important race. If he can win here tonight, as he looks to be doing so far, he can put himself 26 points clear of Nuno as they head into the finale. No way of him guaranteeing himself the title, but obviously a very advantageous position. Could he pick up a lot of points? It is not true of the Constructors' Championship. He needs only to score 11 points here tonight. That would be around a P10 finish. So a safe, normal finish for him. LSA even without the help of Sobel, currently down in 18th, will see themselves easily coast to that championship.
Yeah, and let's have a look at Flix. We've mentioned him before. He started 9th, fought his way up to 5th, then got into a crash with Kader and Corvid, went all the way down to 13th, and now back up to 6th. His race is going up and down, but a lot of bad fortune at some points he seems to be able to recover from. As he makes a mistake there, loses the positions to Rosim, and wants to keep X6 behind. Let's take a look. Nandi is growing that gap as Jeru is getting passed by his teammate, letting his teammates by. Team orders there. Buddha getting past Jeru, gonna try and go after Hanandi as the hard tires are coming to the end of their life as well.
Really interesting to see for Jiruni. He's managed just the single top 10 finish this season, and before that had a streak without them as well. Obviously only a quarter of the way through the race so far, so no early telling. As the RMC's heading on the same lap, this could be a very strong result for him at a time where it is quite
Everyone's
badly
coming in.
needed.
Everyone's coming in except the guys who've already pitted. Let's see if Hanandi keeps the lead. No, Charge jumped him. They go out side by side. Cool tires for Hanandi. Corvid has the softs, the advantage there, and he gets into the lead.
So that
Very
undercut
wide
has
through that
really paid
hairpin.
off
That's
for
what
them.
we show up for in UL. That's ultimate racing right there.
And no luck for Kubo right now in 17. Oh, he got shown first for me a second. A little mistake there, but Corvid now in the lead. Hanandi happy to follow him on those hards, as he knows Corvid will have to pit earlier and Hanandi will be released. Charged right now, following Hanandi, which will be effectively the lead on those longer lasting hards, but older hards for Charge than Hanandi.
Bubbles, if I can ask you, what do you think Hanandi's objective is in this race? Is it to go for that win, to try and pick up as many points as possible, or will he settle for less?
I think Hanandi wants the win right here. I think he can get one hand on that championship, seal the championship in the constructors as well, and he seems like the guy to beat here. So I think he wants the win. But a lot can happen in these races, and Buddha is looking strong as well, and RMC is having a 2-against-1 battle right now.
Sweeping move through the chicane there for the Estonian. 3 wide, they head down the straight. Look at this, and Andy to the outside. Can Corvid do anything here? He's going to try and brute force his way through. Buddha still with his nose in there. Can he get a double overtake done? Very nearly. Can he complete it into the next hairpin? Yes, he can.
Hanandi got a bit wide, but a bit of help as Jeru and Corvid collide a little bit, and Corvid, his softs are struggling. He's probably coming in soon, as he fell down to... a mistake! And Corvid gets forced out of the pits. Charge didn't realize he was going to pit, and Corvid has to go another lap because of that.
Not sure what that looked like on your screen. For me, it was probably one of the craziest drifts ever. He was at quite an angle coming around that corner. Stuck in this pack, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a ping issue there, I think. He was trying to get into the pings. He got seemingly hit by Charged and has to go another lap.
Buddha hits the front.
Buddha and Hanandi are battling at the front, and Jeru and Charged have lost touch. As Corvid now finally goes into the pit.
NTH is in the middle of the pack currently. Kubo right in there as well. He's the only soft running driver in a field full of hards, but that sees him in 12th position at the moment. X610 on my register hasn't pitted yet. I'm sure that is incorrect. He has pitted. That's what you'd expect. And Rams has come in for a second time. Only driver other than Corvid to do so. Goose?
No,
Yes,
Goose.
sir.
Oh. What do you make of it right now?
This has been like from the pits and perspective here. I'm just still gathering my thoughts from Corvid slamming into the pit wall. That's one of the most fierce accidents I've seen. Actually, a similar accident happened in JL and AL into the pit walls. It's been really dangerous down there. But other than that, what an amazing race this has been. You get that oval style racing on a track such as Bugatti because it has those, sweeping turns, simple kind of layout. There's a lot of slipstreaming opportunity, which really has opened it up. There's a lot of people who could still take this.
JT in.
Yes, and it's a big problem if you lose that slipstream. You may never return from it. You have to hope that the guys ahead battle and you can, yeah, get your wheel on the train, as you can say, and try and claw back that slipstream if they battle and lose time. But if you're not in that slipstream, you can lose a lot of time, and your race might be nearly over for the most part. But it's Buddha and Hernandi now in first and second, gaining a lot of time on Jeru, who is in a very impressive third right now. He's doing very well, wants to hold on to that. If he would get this result, it would be mega for him and the RMC team.
It absolutely would be. You've got Jeru, only one podium to his name in his UL tenure. That came at Central Park. Kada, just behind him in fourth place, only one podium to his name. Of course, that came in Montevideo this season, and an amazing fight to the line for that podium it was on that occasion. Matimar ahead of Rosine. Rosine, of course, an experienced race winner. Matimar yet to stand on the podium, but has a few top tens to his name.
Behind them, Flix, one of the biggest talents right now. He is arguably the newest to this racing, and he's really done well in the races he's done so far. A little bit unlucky, and this would be his first top 10 if he could hold on to it.
Most certainly a lot on the line here. X6.
All three of those. Sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, all three of those drivers, Matty, Rosime, and Flix, all have made massive gains this race.
Absolutely. Buddha and Hernandi still fighting it out in front. Matty, Rosime, Flix, all there. Amazing race for Flix. He is, well, not to spoil too much in the driver market, as we see a lot of Russell and Tussle coming into the pit lane. No ghosting on today. Maybe there is. I can't see it from my perspective.
And then Nandi goes on. So he does another lap while Buddha and most others keep driving. Buddha will come out in second. Can he do the undercut on probably this lap pitting Hernandi? I would guess. Yes, he comes in the pit now. Let's see if he lost some time with that undercut. He goes to another set of hards. Here comes Buddha down the Le Mans straight, and he goes to the inside, and he has gained a lot of time. Hernandi lost that slipstream, and he has a lot of time to make up now.
Bit of an issue with the timing screen through the pit lane, getting some
Yes.
weird positionings going on, but that is, as we can now see, Buddha out of the lead, having done half distance already in this race. Corvid jumps Jeru, but Corvid yet to, well, he's gone for that soft strategy earlier, meaning he's got a much older hard now. JT giving him a bit of the old 1-2 there and just trying to get through in the slipstream of Jeruni. If he can hang on to Jeru, it's kind of what Jeru wouldn't want to be doing. He's on the fresher, hard compound tyres. He's now giving that advantage to his rivals, all of whom can take his slipstream now. Basically, his only big options are to sort of back up this pack and try and make a mad dash for it when their tyres are beyond repair or they have to go into the pit lane. But yeah, this is not really a position he wants to be in, though. Great position on track. Third place for him at the moment.
And Kader really got aggressively rid of JT and Corvid on those older tires. He really went aggressive past them to get up to Jeru, who these older tire drivers allowed him to catch up to Jeru and get more into that fight of the podium. So he used those people to get well into the fight for third, as Hernandi has made up about half a second, but it's not gonna be enough for now. He gained 2/10 that lap, but it will have to be more if he wants to win this race.
Speculation, this might be Buda's last hurrah for the Rapid Motorsport team before he heads, well, wherever he chooses next. But if so, this could be a really good way to end it all. Jeru, though, really catching lots of noses up his backside, which is, I can say from experience, not a position you ever want to be in. JT and Kada really getting in there. These two, well, I mean, all four of these really fantastic and seasoned CL drivers. Corvid heading to pit lane now as a huge gaggle of cars comes down the main straight. Earlier on, we saw Figo give position to Antti after Antti asked nicely. They're not on the same team. Antti just has a tendency to be able to persuade like that. Corvid comes out in P11.
And huge gains for Hernandi on Buda as he's coming closer. He seems like the faster driver. Once again, some gains. He does a 30.6 while Buda does a 31 flat. So 4 tenths gained that lap as well. Almost a second gained in 3 laps. He is coming closer to Buda and he seems like he can catch up. So that 1 lap later pit may seem like a fatal error. He has the pace to make up for it right now.
It was always the case with the base version of this track. If there was one that you could point to in terms of you don't want to be on that with old tyres, you don't want to be on that on the rain with the wrong tyres on, it was always Bugatti, because you've got these hairpins, they are so lethal. You've got the quick chicanes, they are so lethal. Of course, certain parts of this track have been changed to match the driving standards of the modern day, with drivers likely to be pampered with these wide open, nice, easy corners. But still, largely it remains true that you don't want even a lap older tyres, and Hernandi showing that, able to make up a huge gap that Buda was able to originally claim from the undercut.
Yeah, and the strategy seems pretty straightforward here as Charged goes into the pits. It's been 8 laps on the soft, 12 laps on the hards all day, and that seems pretty straightforward. I think most people are going for the all hards free stop, but we have a few people like Kraft, Charged, Kubo, and Sobel, and of course Corvid running on some alternate strategies. I'm really curious to see how that works out for them. Kraft now the first driver on the mediums who we haven't seen so far. I'm really curious to see how that plays out for them, as they're probably making a few more pit stops than the rest.
I think I said that if nobody used the mediums in Bugatti, I'd lick a dog, so I'm really glad I don't have to fulfill that promise. He is on the mediums now. Not a great race for him though. P18, even having just come into the pit lane, is never something that a driver of Kraft's caliber wants to see, especially since I believe he's finished top 10 every single race so far this season. Sobel also not having a great run here today. In as the LSA reserve though, so very commendable for the world champion, just in for a nice little night drive here around the Bugatti circuit.
People are probably coming in for another pit stop, not this lap, but after this lap. As Hernandi is looking impatiently behind Buda. He feels like he's the quicker driver, but he doesn't want to rush anything, make a mistake, and then lose that all that time by crashing into him or something. So I think he's just biding his time, waiting for that pit stop, and then try and make a move a little bit later on. Meanwhile, Kader has overtaken Jeru, and he's made a little gap for himself. Can Jeru just hang on with these old tires?
Kader with the B, box and stop, the old German phrase. He's coming into the pit lane, as did the front two, as will Jeruni.
Jeru with an aggressive pit entry.
Rosine with a cheeky overtake as well.
Made up some time. Charged now into third. Corvid into fourth. Those alternate strategy seem to be going well, but all these people have made their last pit stop, taking these hards to the end. And I think Charged especially, but also Corvid, still have to make another pit stop, which is going to lose them a lot of time here.
I think it's really interesting what you see here. With no rain, you get almost a sort of NASCAR style event where you get so many drivers pouring into the pit lane at the exact same stages of the race, because there isn't really that variation of strategy that comes from taking, a wet for this many laps, doing this on the inters, or coming in a lap early or later to see if the rain will come or go. Nothing of that. It's only hard versus a little bit of soft and only craft on the mediums, which means all of these drivers very much just coming into the pit lane as they pretty much all did on lap 37, except for those running some sort of alternate strategy using the soft tyre. Is that better? Is that the way that we want UL races to go in the future? The drivers might say yes, but fans, let your thoughts be known in the comment section.
There's a lot of tension going on between Hernandi and Buddha right now. Hernandi went side by side on the main straight for a little second, then thought better of it going into the chicane. Let's try. He had a better exit last time. This time, not so much. They still go nose to tail. Hernandi, when is he gonna make his move? When do you think is gonna be the best time for Hernandi to make a move?
Oh, it's a really good question. I think whichever driver enters the third sector of lap 48 as the driver in second place will end the race as the driver in first, because it is too easy and too tempting just to send your nose up the inside, either here, but more importantly, get the slip like Hernandi does. You can just force your way into that 90-degree penultimate turn, take the inside, and absolutely run away with it. If you're a driver of the ability of these two, you're going to be weighing up that move, calculating it. You might even see Buddha do a little bit of gamesmanship and give Hernandi the lead just to take it back at the last opportunity. You wouldn't put it past the Estonian. Jeru and Kada going side by side. We thought it might be a foregone conclusion, but look at them still fighting it out here. Jeru got back into the slipstream, back alongside the Colombian in the bright yellow car. These two look to be staying at their respective teams for next season. Jeru has just been given a 50% ownership stake in his, and that's clearly boosted spirits for the young Belarusian. JT just behind them.
But they have to be careful to not battle as much, because as you said, JT is just behind him and he just put on new softs. So he will be looking to gain that time on those fresh tires, faster tires, 2 seconds behind only. If Jeru and Ketter battle too much, charged may very easily overtake them. So they have to prioritize working together maybe for now to maybe in the end battle each other.
Absolutely right.
I think that Hernandi might want to make his move at the square pin of the last lap. I think that last sector, yes, there's a big opportunity to use that draft and pull one into the inside, but I think that's such a high-speed corner that the risk is far greater than the reward, and you might come in the losing end then, because the straight towards the finish line is very tiny, so you will not gain as much on the straight, so you have to do it on the turns. So maybe a little bit early in the lap might be the correct decision, so you can do it under braking instead of during a fast speed corner where things might go heavily wrong.
It's true, but, well, I think Buddha is probably the driver, at least in my experience, who has been in the most of these last lap fights and obviously potential controversies. A lot of those with Nuno. We saw it at Margaret Island. We saw it all the way back in Zandvoort season 11. One he did get the win, the other he didn't. It almost depends with these drivers and the way the system works nowadays. Do you want to take the lead on track? Do you want to go for it? Or do you think that by sending a move and being blocked off on the last corner, you could guarantee yourself in the courtrooms a win, which is obviously probably not the way we want to see it being decided, but it might be a viable strategy compared to leaving it to a game of chance with that, as you said, short run to the line.
And as at the front two are playing a patient bluffing game, no such thing for the final podium places. It's getting aggressive, elbow out racing. Kader forced off Jeru a little bit earlier. Charge was forced off, lost a lot of time, is now back with them, going for third on those soft tires that are gonna start to struggle as well. Jeru and Carter go way wide. It's getting very aggressive for that podium spot, but Charged has the tire advantage for now and wants to fade away from these guys and get that podium for himself.
Such tight battles for the lead, for the podium. One final lap. Bubbles, take us through it.
Yes, this is the lap where a move must be made by Hernandi. He had the pace to catch back up to Buddha, but getting past him is a different cookie. These tires are sliding now. Is he gonna make his move at the square pin? He stays behind for now. He wants to do it in that last sector. As Skip said, Buddha goes in full speed. There's a little gap. Has he enough of a gap? A little push. Hanani can do it. Last corner, side by side. Who's gonna win on the line? It's very close. The scoring board says Hernandez got it. I'm not even sure. Charged will get the podium position. Jeru and Kader side by side as well.
Kader got the
It is
podium.
very close. Corvette for 6th. Brilliant on those last turns. Hernandez got a way better exit than Buddha. They went side by side over the line. This might be the closest race I've ever seen. Brilliant racing from the both of them. Exciting race here at the end. The alternate strategies seem to have worked for Charged, getting him a podium. And I think Hernandi got the win here, which means LSA are your World Constructors champions in the Ultimate League. Whether he finished first or second, they will do it, and he will get a huge gap to the absent Nuno to secure his first World Drivers' Championship next week in Ricardo Tormo. So Hernandi, your race winner, I think at least. Then second, Buddha. The screen here says Kader got third, but I'm pretty sure Charged crossed the line first. So I think Charged will get that podium. Kader will be fourth, Jeru fifth, sixth Corvette. First top 10 ever for Flix in 7th. His best result before this was 15, so this must be amazing for him. Rosin, best result of the season in 8th. Matimar, best result of the season in 9th. And then Kubo in 10th. He said to me, whenever you are a commentator, I can't get into the top 10. Well, you've done it, buddy. 10 for you. Anti with 11th, with a disappointing day for Nordic Thunder with 11 and 12. Figo, last week's winner, down in 13th. That must be disappointed. X6 in 14th. Sobel, the reserve, part of that Constructors' Championship winning team by getting a few points in 15th. Rams will be 16th. You're 17th. And my pre-race predicted winner, Kraft, will be in last.
It does just show it how unpredictable this league is. This was a day of many breakthroughs. Matimar's best finish, Flix's best finish, Jeru's best finish in a very, very long time. And obviously Hernandi breaking through 26 points clear of its teammate and single-handedly, pretty much, securing that World Constructors' Championship for LSA. Something else to mention, Flix did say if he beat Kubo in a race at any point this season, he got to add Big to his name. So congratulations, you have now been promoted to the rank of Big Flix with that P7.
Yeah, Bubbles, please never ever predict any of the Flow Force cars to win, because very clearly it's not helpful.
Yeah, I've seemed to put a curse on quite a few people here today. I'm sorry for all those people that I've heard that were supporting Kraft today. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. I apologize. It is a very unfortunate race for him. His teammate got on the podium, but Kraft, no points today. That's gonna be very big in the very tight battle between FLF and Scuderia Paracaro for second in the World Constructors Championship.
Oh my gosh. Interview time for Bad Luck Bubbles?
I think it's interview time. Let's start with race winner Hernandi. Take me through your decision to make your final move on the last corner.
I mean, it's what I always do to try to get it done in the final corner, but I've never gotten it to work so far in my career, so this is a surprise for me. Also that I managed to catch back up to Buddha. I honestly completely forgot to pit on lap 24 and lost like 2 seconds by staying out an extra lap. And that stint I just pulled some crazy laps and managed to get back into the slip by the end. This was an insane race. Buddha did amazing as well.
Yeah, no rain in this race. How was that for you?
I mean, for me, it's an amazing thing. I often get screwed by rain, as far as I think. So I'd love more dry races in the future, but I can understand that some people don't like it because the strategies were really similar. I think 16 people basically doing the same strategy today.
Yeah, there was a lot of people going softs 8 and hards 12. Everybody went on the same time. There were a few people who went for an alternate strategy. But congratulations on your win, Hanandi. And congratulations on being the World Constructors Champion.
Thank you.
And you have one hand on that first Drivers' Championship. You are going 26 points clear of Nuno with him being absent. How does that feel? And do you think you can get the job done now?
Well, I would not like to say anything before the end of the race next week. Honestly, I mean, I can still get like disconnected like Joe did in Australia, and Nuno could win. So we will see. I really hope I can get it, and it's pretty likely. So let's just keep going and see what will happen.
Very nice, thank you. Yeah, then I want to have some questions for Corvid. Hello, Corvid.
Hey.
You went for an alternate strategy today. You got the fastest lap. How was that?
Yeah, I was planning to go on an alternate strategy today. Starting in the softs honestly didn't work as well as I thought it would, which is the main issue. I think we could have possibly got on a podium today, but that was probably the absolute limit. I got forced into an extra lap on my second stint of softs, which didn't help, and then I had a lot of trouble getting through Anti, and I think both the Nordic Thunder cars when I was making those early stops, but yeah, I can't be too fussed with how it's going. The pace was alright, I got the fast lap, so that's an extra point. Hopefully we'll be seeing what we can do next race. I'm very keen on just like holding on to where I'm at the moment in both championships.
All right, thank you. Yeah, a big accident then with, I believe, the charge. Did it hurt? Was it all right? It was a bit impact into the pit wall, I saw. How did that happen? Hello?
Question to Corvid, I think it was.
Sorry?
Hit the pit
The
wall, did
impact
you?
with charged into the pit wall. How did that happen?
On my screen, it was actually Jaruni lag rocketing me into the pit wall. I
Alright.
was trying to pit that lap, so I was trying to get out of the way, and it didn't really work out. And then I got shoved, hit the pit wall, had to go another lap. It ultimately didn't matter too much, thankfully, but yeah, it was just one of those situations where you try to avoid it, it still happens, and then you just sort of just got to carry on.
All right, thank you. Then I have some questions for Jeru, if he's able.
I'm not sure that he is, but we can go to Buddha maybe, see if that microphone's working. Buddha, you want to give it a go? I fear he might be gone already as well. Then we can go to... Oh gosh.
Kubo?
Hello.
Hello, Kubo. Finally you got that top 10 when I'm commentating. How does it feel?
I'm so happy to have broken the curse. Oh, but yeah, disappointed again to have a bad start and have to come back for what feels like every race now.
Yeah, what
Um,
happened to you at the start?
At the start, well, it's just a lot of small incidents. I had a good start initially, then I got forced a bit into the med pack, and then one person re-entered and slowed me a lot, just really down. And then I got into more incidents at the back of the pack after that. Two unfortunate lag rockets with Eurist where we couldn't do anything. It was the ramming from behind lag rockets. And yeah, and after that I decided I'll go for the alternative strategy. And I had a lot of clean air, and everyone was letting me pass as well because I was on the softs. They wanted the slipstream. So I'm really thankful for everyone because that helped me to just focus on my driving and not on battling too much. And I managed to get up and fight with the Nordic Thunders there in the final stand. And I managed to beat them on those hards and take finally a top 10.
Yeah, nicely done. How was it? How did it feel to be back in the Flow Force car?
Oh, the livery is lovely. The livery is lovely.
It is.
Yeah, and I hope for an even better finish next race because I could have definitely done much better this time around.
All right, thank you. Skip, anything to add?
No, I think that was an absolutely cracking race. I mean, I finally believe Jerry when he says every single race, oh, I got screwed over by the rain. If not for the rain, I would have been top 5. I go, yeah, sure, mate. Nice try. Yeah, that looks a little bit more plausible now. Most
You
certainly.
delivered.
Should we go to Matty, Mar? Matty, it's your best ever finish. P9, another great race from you. You're just
Yeah,
slamming
I
them in.
don't know if I ever was that disappointed in myself.
Oh.
Honestly, after a race.
Why?
I could have fought for the podium with Kader, Jero, and who was there? And Joe, I think, but because I was slipping Kader, but I unfortunately lost his slipstream. After a really shit quali, but a good start, I was P5. But although the race, I was just losing positions. And then in the end had some unlucky incident with Flix, which costed me the 2 positions. So yeah, I just know I could have been a lot higher. That's why I'm so freaking disappointed.
Oh, still a really good effort, man. Are you going to be sticking around in Neon Sunset next season?
Yeah, I think so.
It's good to hear.
If nobody offers me a team principal role, then yeah.
Oh, well, team owners, take note of that. All you need to do is offer him a TP role. Yeah,
What?
I think we'll wrap it up there, Bubbles.
Yes, everybody, thank you for watching. Next week we will finish the season at Ricardo Tormo in Spain. I hope to see all of you there. Thank you for watching and goodbye.